Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is your host, Rose Sanchez, and you're watching Movie Talk with Pressplay Cinema. Now, I have a really good friend of mine as a guest today. This man is brilliant when it comes to film production and all of that good stuff. So don't miss out, okay? And today is in English, so there's no excuse, okay? Let's give a round of applause to Adam Brian Dada. Oh, right here. How you doing
Thank
today,
you, Rose.
Adam?
Thank you, Rose. It's good to be with you today.
Yeah, it's been a long time since the last time we were on camera like this. So it's really
We,
nice to see your face again.
we should do it more often.
Right. Now, I do know that I'm not sure if you're still doing it because I see that you are very, very focused in the film diner right now. But I do know that in the past you were doing executive production, right?
Yeah, I
So if
still
that's so, I have a lot of questions about executive production and the film diner. Is that okay with you?
absolutely go for it. Let's do
So
it.
go ahead before we start. I want you to present yourself and talk to us a little bit about you.
So I'm Adam Brian Dada. I am the founder of FilmDiner, which is currently strictly in Chicago as a trial program, a trial collaboration. FilmDiner is different than other film cooperatives and collaborative collectives because we actually focus on selling content that people want to buy. We are artists. I'm not ignoring the art that comes in film, but we want to make this a full-time job for everybody that's in the collaboration. Since we started, we've made about 80 people full-timers, which is pretty incredible. We focus on audience metrics, understanding marketing. It's a very low-cost initiative. We with just 100 and some members, we rent our own studio, which is fully paid for. Members can use the film studio for free. We have hundreds of thousands of dollars in gear. We have cameras, lights, microphones, sets, costumes, pre-built sets, ready to roll, ready to light. And members can use that for as cheap as free. They can use a Sony FX6 camera, $250 a day normally for free. They can use aperture lights. We've got probably $50,000 of lights. You would pay anywhere from $500 to $1,500 a day. You can use them as a member for free. The goal of Film Diner is to take it nationwide, sector by sector, allowing collectives to share equipment. So if someone in Milwaukee needs a camera or a light or a prisoner outfit or handcuffs, they can get it from, say, the Chicago Collective or from maybe the Door County Collective. If someone in Detroit needed gear, they could get it from the Fort Wayne Collective. The Chicago Film Diner is financially neutral with just 100 and some members. And that's crazy to think about. Even small film towns have more than 100 some members. So every small town in America could be doing what we're doing, focusing on making great content, focusing on making it cheap for members, focusing on actually collaborating. And that's the goal. We test it out every year. We try something new.
So, talking about that, because that was my first question. My first question for everyone watching was, what is the film diner? So, if you can explain that in short words, is it like a film community? Is it a studio, or is it a studio with film resources for every kind of use?
I think Film Diner is really a think tank because our focus is for our members to make products that audiences will pay for. And that's a key element because our members want to make content that audiences will pay for. We're a think tank. Members will come to me and members will come to other members and say, is this a good idea? And we're not just talking nicely. We're not each other's friends who are saying, oh, yeah, you go. You can do this. This is great. No, we're honest. I'm brutally honest. People will come to me with ideas they want to invest their own money and time in, and I'll tell them if it's a good idea or not. And other members are welcome to also. We're critical, supportive, collaborative.
Okay, okay. Well, that's really cool. And anyone that's trying to, move to Chicago, just, tune in on that because that sounds like a really awesome resource for independent filmmakers, especially. So, with that, I want to go to that second question, which you kind of already answered it. But I do want to get in depth with that. What are ways that filmmakers can benefit from the Film Diner? You said that you had cameras that you rent and stuff like that. What are other things that filmmakers can benefit from the Film Diner?
Well, something we've done as a collaborative effort, something we're working on is last year I did a free headshot night. That was a lot of fun. People came, actors with no money and actors with a lot of money came, and we did some free headshots. What we're going to do this year is something different. We're going to bring actors who want headshots, and we're going to bring photographers who need practice taking headshots. And we're going to do a TFP style event, which means members who are photographers and members who are actors will come together, and you will come to the Film Diner. There might be, say, I don't know, 5, 10 photographers. You can get 5 or 10 headshots taken, network, and hit the road. And the photographers might get, who knows, 20, 50 actors. Now, of course, if you're a professional headshot photographer, you're not going to maybe want to be a part of it necessarily. You know who your market is. You're charging hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars. We're not trying to replace you. What we're trying to do is we're trying to collaborate to increase our skill set and our abilities as a member-driven collective. So that's something interesting we're doing. I also am doing something brand new that hasn't been done before. A good demo reel day for an actor could cost $800 to $2,000. And in Chicago, we have about 8 of them, and it's very expensive, and most actors can't afford that. Now, if you're a professional actor who is already making $30,000, $50,000 a year, spending $2,000 is probably affordable. If you're an actor who's doing background work or unpaid indie films, you can't afford $2,000. So what I'm doing, me as the executive producer, I'm paying for the studio space, I'm paying for the cameras, I'm paying for the lighting, I'm paying for the crafty. You don't have to pay anything for that. Instead, actors will give a small amount of money to crew who will charge a small amount of money to help you film your demo reels. We've already done our first demo reel days about a month ago with members, and we published them to YouTube maybe a week ago, and they're fantastic. And we can do them at a really good rate for actors who can't afford the professional companies, and film crew who are looking to be on more sets can be part of that as well, and they get paid. Instead of the actors paying me and me keeping most of it and paying the crew, the actors will pay the crew directly. And we can do this because we own the studio. I've donated the gear. I've donated the resources. So as an executive producer, I have the financial ability to be able to give more people the ability to kickstart, boot up their careers.
You know what? I don't want to change the topic, but something that I do love about you is your unwavering support to independent filmmakers, especially people that you consider really rich in the community. For example, look at your shirt. You're rocking some Ruben Alvarez on you, huh? I see Ruben Alvarez is a really good friend of ours. He is a comedian in the area of Chicago, and he is touring around with his stand-up comedy. So guys, look him up. That being said, I do have a follow-up question for what you just said, but I don't know if I should wait until later because you said something about, okay, the Film Diner is right here in Chicago, but I did heard a little bird told me that you were trying to expand and make this same resources and studios in other states. How are you planning to do all this? Because this sounds amazing, and I want to be part of it.
The first thing we're going to do is this. I believe probably in July, our website will allow you to nominate a city. And when you nominate a city, that means you're picking a city like, say, Milwaukee or Indianapolis. And if you nominate a city, now what happens is I personally will be a part of that. You're welcoming me as an executive producer to come to that city and investigate. Can we start a collective? Now, we could start a collective with as little as maybe 50 members and $10 a month. I don't take that money. 50 members, $10 a month. They don't have to pay anything up front. They'll make a commitment. They'll say, if we can get 50 people, I will give $10 a month. And then you guys, I find a landlord and you give the money to the landlord. Now you have a space. What can you do with that space? Not much, but you have a space. Most film collectives in America cost hundreds of dollars. Some are hundreds of dollars a month. I know of at least 2 that are $2,000 a month. And that's unaffordable. But what if you got your background actors, your beginning filmmakers, your wedding videographers, your modeling photographers, your B movie horror directors? Why don't you get them together in your town and say, can we get 50 people who will put $10 a month together for a year? You do that, I will rent a facility. You pay the rent direct. I don't make any money. After you get to 100 people, now you have enough money to buy film gear to share, build sets to share. And then we're in a position where we've got the clout where we can start actually building. It takes about 2 years, and it takes about 50 people to start. You had mentioned Ruben. Ruben was actually one of the first members, I think, in the first 10 members of the FilmDiner under our previous name in 2020. And he actually brought in our first 80 members. One person brought in 80 members all by himself. And I attribute a lot of our success to the early days of the Ruben, which is why I'm wearing a shirt.
No, listen, Ruben, it's a super supportive guy. I really love that guy for sure. And when it comes to what you're doing, what you're doing is a really amazing initiative. And I really hope that people, this is an idea that wasn't really difficult to think about if you really care about helping the community of filmmakers. But most of the people, they're just money gogging, very greedy and stuff like, I just want everything for me. We can't do that. If we really want to succeed, this is a collaborative work. So I really appreciate what you're doing. This is an amazing step in the film industry, especially in the independent film industry. So kudos for that. Now, I do know the process of producing a film, but every executive producer has different steps or different order of the steps. So now I do want you to break down the steps to produce a film.
So I think the most important thing is I ask filmmakers every day, who is your audience? And I don't mean, you Latina, 20-something female. That's not the audience. That's not what I'm talking about. Who is your audience? My audience are people who actually go to the movie theater and watch horror movies. My audience is people who want to watch a Hallmark Christmas movie on cable, on streaming. I need to know who your audience is. Prove to me who your audience is. Too often people think if they make a movie, people will watch it. That's incorrect. The majority of any film's expended budget is on P&A, print and advertising. If you don't know your audience, then you don't know who you're going to be targeting with it. So that's number one. I ask everybody right away, who is your audience? If they don't have an answer, I tell them to table the film and now focus on the audience. Number two, something I do that's different from a lot of executive producers is I don't like producing writers whose Facebook is all film people. I don't like that. I like people whose Facebook is their mom and their aunt and their coworkers and their vet technicians and the diner waitress and the Uber driver. Because when you post a film to Facebook and all your friends are filmmakers, they're not going to watch it. They're definitely not going to buy it on Amazon. Not going to happen. But if your network on Facebook is, say, 80% real people, they're excited about this. They're really excited about this. Your mom, if she's alive, will sit and watch an entire episode of Chicago PD just to see your blurry face for 3 seconds. That's an investment that advertisers want. They see you for 3 seconds and they watch 37 ads. So, Chicago PD made $1.50 off of your mom watching. But if you post a link and 0 people watch it, it's a problem. So I prefer looking for film writers, filmmakers, script writers, whose Facebook pages are exceedingly not film people. You can create a film page for yourself, but it's not really the same thing. I keep 2 different profiles on Facebook. One is my personal political profile and one is my film profile, and they blur a little.
I know that one is on fire.
The lines blur a little bit, but my focus is on my film profile. I don't really promote what I do. I promote what everyone else I know is doing. On my personal profile, I post only stuff that's consequential to my life, and then I'll sneak in a film project that's important to me. And that makes a difference. Having a good network of people who actually watch movies and don't just make movies is really important. And when you have only friends who make movies, they'll be more judgmental and critical of what you're working on than your friends who actually like to watch them. They won't be as critical.
That's a really great advice. So thank you for that. Now let's move to our fourth question, because I know it's very difficult to find a really good executive producer, honest and ethically good. So what are the best ways to for a filmmaker?
Well, one thing I recommend is if you have a collective like FilmDiner, and you don't have to use just FilmDiner, but if you have a collective like FilmDiner, at least one person should have an IMDb Pro account. At least one person. And if you have an IMDb Pro account, you can start hammering and looking for films that are like yours. What's your budget? $6,000? IMDb Pro lets you search by budget, lets you see film budgets. Go through, find people who you know, find out what movies they've been on, find out who the producers were on those movies, and then contact them through the proper avenues. Don't hit them up on Facebook. Don't text message their phone. I get that every day. I don't want to hear about it. Don't message their wives or their daughters or befriend their friends. It's horrible, horrible. Instead, through IMDb Pro, they will have a contact, probably an agent, maybe themselves. Send an email, a very simple, short and sweet email. I am Adam Brian Dada. I'm a film writer. I've written a film. It's like Ghostbusters meets The Goonies meets Top Gun, and I'd like to make it for about $10,000. Would you be interested in hearing more about it? That's it. Done. Simple pitch. Done. A good executive producer gets a lot of bad pitches. When we see a good pitch through the correct avenues, and it's limited in scope and length, it catches our eye. When you copy and paste your pitch that you've sent to everyone else, and it includes the wrong name, or it includes like brackets and then like insert link here and stuff like that, we will never, ever, ever work with you again.
You know what's funny? I've heard this before, but I did not. You broke it down. So thank you. Like I've heard this before, but it was a person that was just brushing it on the surface because they said something about IMDb Pro and looking for executive producers and stuff like that. But you went in depth with it. So I appreciate that because I know there's people right now watching that had no idea, didn't even know the little information that I knew. And this is rich for them. So that being said, let's go to our fifth question. Our fifth question is, how can filmmakers impress an executive producer to help their film to be selected for production? Because right now you said, hey, an email, simple and sweet. And you just basically told us a little rundown of how would a simple and sweet message would look like. But at the end of the day, after you're picked, if you're picked, how can you keep that attention? How can you keep that intriguing thrive to make that film? You know, because at the end of the day, this person is going to meet that person, and if they don't like the vibe or how the person is explaining their project, they're going to be out. So tell us a little bit how to keep that person intrigued and at the same time make them know that it's serious and that it's professional.
So one thing that's really important to do is you want to be using Microsoft Word or Google Doc or one of the programs where you can write your own letters. And you're going to want to use that and save letters in folders based on the producer's name that you contacted. So if you send a letter to me, let's say you sent an email, you found me on IMDb Pro, I've produced stuff that is similar in scope and budget to what you have. You sent me an email, short but sweet. You didn't follow up, you didn't bother me, you didn't harass me, you sent it, ignored it, and maybe 3 months later I came across it, and I send you back a very quick response. What's in it for me? Tell me more. How much? Sometimes it'll be less words than that. I might say cool question mark, you know. Basically, now you got the door open for a split second. You have a small moment in time to send a response. Your intro, the first time you send an intro to a producer, you want to just be very short and sweet. If a producer asks you for information, if they say, go ahead with your pitch, the next time you send them an email, you'll say, hi, Mr. Dada, I've sent you movie ideas in the past and you've asked me for more information. I was hoping you'd look at this one as well, because now you have an intro. When I see those emails, I don't know people's names. But when they remind me quickly, short and sweet, when they remind me in their intro email, it helps. When I say what's in it for me, now you can say, what's the goal of the film? Is it to make money? Is it to make a profit? say it. We're making this film. The budget is $30,000, and we're hoping to make that money back. And we want to make that money back. Our goal is to make that money back. Not all films are like that. Number two, could be politics. It's an election year. We're making this film for $50,000. It's an election year, and we want to educate audiences in this political spectrum. If the producers align with that.
No, go ahead, finish.
Might be for fundraising for charity. We're making a movie about abandoned puppies, and we want to bring recognition to that, on behalf of the SPCA or whatever, ASPCA. So you have to explain to the producer what is in it for them. Not all producers just want to make money all the time. I don't want to make money. I don't have a single film on my IMDb that's about making money. I produce those films because I wanted to give those filmmakers a chance to have their voice heard. I did not make those films to make money. When I invest in a film for profit, my name is not on the credits. I don't want anyone to know what I'm investing in. Because if I'm invested in you, I don't want my competitor producers to know about you. I want to invest in you. So there's that balance, but be quick. Explain quickly what the goal is. We want to make money. We want to change opinions. We want to bring attention to charitable causes. I got a great pitch a year and a half ago from a female producer. I'm sorry, a female filmmaker, and she specifically wrote the pitch quick. I wrote back, I said, cool, what do you need me for? And she goes, we are making this because we want to party hard. We want to have a lot of fun. It's not going to make any money, but we want to have a great time. We want to literally party crazy hard. We've overworked ourselves. We're exhausted. Let's have fun. I said, you got me. You got me 100%. And I got involved because she was honest about it.
I like that. So you just said it right now, something about honesty. Just start with honesty if you want to get it back. That's for sure. Now, to get that, to go a little more in depth with that, there's a person right here that asked you a question. He said, I am in the process of starting a crowdfunding campaign as a producer for a short film. What are some good crowdfunded tips for independent producers?
So Matthew, good to see you there. There's a couple of unfortunate truths about crowdfunding. Number one, those crowdfunds that make a lot of money are lies. It's what I call crowd washing. A crowd washing campaign is when someone with a lot of money will say, we're going to try and raise $300,000. And the worst fear that audiences have on the internet is FOMO, the fear of missing out. So what a crowd washing does, or crowd rinsing also, I call it that as well. What a crowd rinsing campaign does is we'll set up a crowdfunding campaign and our goal is $300,000, right? And people see that and they're like, wow, that's a lot of money. So then what we do is we give our own $100,000. I'm the filmmaker, I'm the producer. I give $100,000 to my friends and relatives. And I say, hey, friends and relatives, here's $100,000. Send the money back to our crowdfunding campaign. So now our crowdfunding campaign goes from 0 to 100,000. Now people are like, oh my goodness, they're getting a lot of traction. This movie's going to get made. Maybe I'll be a part of this. The next 100,000 are people who actually really want to put in $100, $500, whatever. So that first $200,000 is a lot of money, but 100,000 is fake. So you got to be careful with crowdfunding. Now, here's the biggest issue that I have with crowdfunding today, and this is a serious one, okay? In January, I'm a guy who makes a lot of money. I'm worth a lot of money. I make a lot of money. This isn't me bragging. My time is spent doing business. In January, I bought a used car, a very bad used car, not a good one. I didn't use my credit even. I just went to a place where you can literally say, here's $500, give me a car. They don't check your credit. They take your payment every week. They sell you a beater. And I drove it for DoorDash or Grubhub. I don't remember. And I did that. Me, a producer who makes a lot of money, drove a beater for Grubhub. And I was making $100-$150 a day. Now, that was after I was producing. So I was working 12 to 16 hours a day and then driving after that. And in a month, I made like $4,000 to $5,000. And I posted it on my Facebook. Now, when someone comes to me and says, we've been trying to raise money for 5 years, and I go, oh, how much do you need? And they said, we need $20,000. I'm like, you've been doing what for 5 years? For how much? So if your budget is $25,000, you're not going to get it. Don't do it through crowdfunding. Go and get your co-investors and make a goal to each person in your group. doing $50 a day of driving around. It sucks, especially if you have a full-time job and a family and kids. Do it, and in a year, you'll have $100,000. Now you have $100,000 to rinse the crowd. Now you can set your goal for $250,000 using your $100,000 of seed money through your friends and family and shill accounts and sock accounts to create that fear of missing out as the funds get collected. And it's not pretty to hear, but the biggest crowdfunded movies did this. They did this. They do it every day. It's very dirty. It's very scammy, but this is a film industry. We're trying to stoke an audience to be a part of it. And they're not going to be a part of it unless a bunch of other people appear to be committed to it. I hope that answers some of your questions.
That is right. And I'll be honest with you. I thought I was making these questions for the people, but I'm learning a lot now. Thank you, Adam. You are a gem. Now, that being said, I do want to ask you another question about the FilmDiner. My sixth question is with the FilmDiner, how can filmmakers apply to join?
So because we're a collective, and because we're a collective that exists to integrate filmmakers, actors, photographers, models, crew, makeup artists who want to make money as the primary goal, we're not here to sell you on it. We don't have salespeople. We don't have a secretary. We don't have a manager. We don't have commissions. Nobody is going to go out of their way to sell you on it. If you want to apply, the best way to apply is to find a friend who's a member. That's the fastest way to get my attention. Because I get hundreds of emails every day from people who think, I'll apply to Filmmaker, I'll join, and then Adam Brian Dada will give me $100,000. Doesn't work that way. If you want to become a member, find a friend who is a member. If you don't have any friends who are members, go on to any post about FilmDiner or from the FilmDiner Facebook page and post on it and say, I'm curious about becoming a member. And then other members will reach out to you and they will help you along the path. It's an easy path. Everyone's approved, but we want you to do the homework yourself. We have to see. If you're really serious, you have to then do the homework yourself and find your way in.
Yeah, like, hey, it's not like you're gonna make pay this fee and we're gonna do everything for you, because you're paying just the fee so that you can come and be able to freely use what you need, but you got to put the work in. So I completely agree with you.
Every member who joins can use the studio for free. And depending on what tier you're in, it's defined differently, but you can use the studio for free in one way or another. You can use the gear for free in one way or another. But you, as an interested future member, have to do a little of the homework yourself. And it's really important. I really think it's important that we don't make it too easy. I think it's really important that people do a little research themselves. We're not a gym. I don't want to take your money January 1st and then keep billing you every month. We don't do that. You pay yourself. You have to remember to pay yourself. Every month you have to send your payment. We make it so that you have to show your commitment. Otherwise, I don't want you a part of it if you're just giving us money. That's not the goal. Give money, come be a part of it, make films, collaborate.
Like, yeah, I'm making money, but this is not fun. Y'all not coming here and doing the stuff. I enjoy watching this stuff folding here in front of me, and y'all just pay me and not doing this. Like, come on. I get what you're doing, because I love the film industry. I love it. And one of the things that I love the most is the euphoria when you're inside that movie set and everybody has their lines and there's the script supervisor and the director's here screaming at everybody. And people are like, oh my gosh. But at the same time, it's like, this is fun. This is like a playground for artists, for real. Now, That being said, I do know that you have a lot of experience with film makers. So in general, what is the best advice you can give to an independent filmmaker? Something that you found very much and you're like, oh my gosh, I wish I can tell them. So what is that you would like to tell them?
I can give to filmmakers, and I started giving this advice in 2017 as a warning. In 2017, and you can Google, you can look me up. In 2017, I told people we are just a few years from the precipice of where Hollywood was making money to where Hollywood stopped making money. This is the profit. Hollywood made profits. The biggest profit was in 2019. And after 2019, Hollywood started losing money. So I told people now is going to be the time where independent filmmakers can make a full-time income out of it. But that doesn't mean you're going to be a millionaire anymore. You can make a full-time income as a filmmaker, as an actor, as a model, as a photographer. You can do that today as an independent. You don't have to join a union. You don't have to join a guild. You don't have to join Filmmaker. You can become a full-time paid artist today. And that's the best news that there is. Anyone that wants to do it today can do it today. And it's amazing that people aren't doing it. I'm shocked. I see so many filmmakers who aren't doing it because it seems like
this is the thing. This is the thing with that detail that you just said right now. There's a lot of commotion going on in Hollywood with all of that drama going on. So I do think that the reason why a lot of filmmakers have not started doing what you're saying, it's because they have this illusion that they have to come from a family of rich people, or they have to have the right connections, or you got to be part of their demon sect or whatever to be able to be a millionaire. Well, if you already know that that's all that they do to get to that level, do you really want to submit yourself to do that stuff? There is a lot of ways that you can achieve what you want. You just got to put the work in and think outside of the box. Try to do stuff that not other people have tried. So thank you for that. Continue.
Yeah, I think if you want to be a successful filmmaker today, you need an audience. 10 years ago, and this is crazy to think, 10 years ago, the only way to connect with the audience as a filmmaker was through a sales agent who represented a theater or a distributor who was in full control of what got shown to the audience. That was 10 years ago. We had YouTube, but YouTube really wasn't gaining ground as much as we thought. Today, you have audiences everywhere. You have audiences on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. You have audiences on Rumble, X, Twitter. You have audiences everywhere. You literally have audiences everywhere. And the fact that people are ignoring that, they want to be like, how do I get on Netflix? How do I get in Marcus Theaters? How do I get on NBC? That's not the audience anymore, people. The audience is everywhere. And if you are a filmmaker and you want to make a life out of it, you need to get with your audience. You need to find your audience.
Oops, I lost you, Adam. Are you there? Wait, let me see. There you go.
Sorry, I lost you.
Continue.
I'm on a satellite uplink somewhere in the Caribbean right now on a film shoot, so I apologize for that. But basically, we know there are more audiences out there than ever. So if you want to become a successful filmmaker, and if you're a FilmDiner member, you're always welcome to talk to me about this. I love talking to people about this every day, that there are definitely audiences for everybody. Every single product that you have can make money today. You just have to be committed to putting it in front of the audience on a regular basis.
You know what? Someone is agreeing here with you. I think that is AD. He said, my audience are people who watch reels all day long and don't have the biggest attention span. That's why I create micro episodics. There you go. Then I have someone here that's asking about AI. But wait there, because I do have questions about AI. Okay, so continue.
Yeah, so I mean, basically, if you have the directive to find where your audience is most connected to your product, you just need to publish there. But the problem with publishing is what I talk about repeatedly on Facebook. When you publish on social media, 2% or less of your audience will see it. 2% or less will see one post. So if you only post your YouTube link once, only 2% of your audience will see it. So you got to post 5 times, and less than 6% of your audience will see it. If you post it 200 times, less than 75% of your audience will see it. So you have to have a process. When I work with filmmakers, I tell them we're going to work on having a committed base of crew and cast and friends of crew and cast promote on a regular basis, hundreds of times. If you want that to be successful and viral, hundreds of times, thousands of times, thousands of links.
No, that being said, when it comes to thing, because I'm not sure if that's gonna be like the downfall for film, like in general. Because the more time keeps passing by, the more you see people more interested in just watching 30-second videos.
Yeah.
How is that going to work for the film industry, especially us that we're trying to grind and doing our best and making the stories that are fantastic, very unique ideas. I don't know why these people, obviously they have their own sect, that's why. But like we have very best, and I see this type of films that come out and they're very engaging and captivating, and people don't watch them because they're just now in TikTok. Which TikTok, hey, no shade to TikTok. It's good when it comes to making your revenue out of little micro shorts. But at the same time, what are the complications that come with that? Now that the general people prefer to watch short things, what happens?
Well, I think there's a transition that's going to happen. I'm already writing some TV series right now, which will utilize TikTok and Facebook Reels and YouTube Shorts. We'll utilize them to give little pieces of story to the audience, little pieces of story, tiny clips of tiny scenes to the audience. And the reason we want to do that is we want to create a comfort for the audience with our characters. We don't want them to care about the story yet. We want them to love the characters. Something like 78%, I can't remember the exact number, 78% of people who watch Netflix watch comfort TV shows they've already seen as background noise. Now, what's good about that is Netflix runs ads on some tiers right now. So even if you're watching the same episodes of Friends or Seinfeld or MASH or Cheers, or I don't know enough about TV shows, sorry folks, even if you're watching those shows on repeat, Netflix has monetized that because you have comfort with the character. So what I'm going to be doing with my TV series that I'm hoping to release this year, I've got 3 TV series I'm working on. I want to release pieces of character interaction to TikTok, to Facebook Reels, to YouTube Shorts, to Instagram. And then what we're going to do is we're going to make audiences comfortable with the characters. And if they get comfortable with the characters now, they might want to watch our 45-minute episodes, which will have ads, and maybe they'll just watch it to be noise in the background. But when you watch something with ads on Hulu, on Netflix, on YouTube, when you watch something with ads and it's the same producer and you're just doing it for comfort, you're still giving them money. You're not giving them attention. You're giving them money. So TikTok and YouTube Reels and Facebook is going to be wonderful for independent filmmakers. But here's the thing. You need to write your films. You need to write your TV shows. You need to write your episodics with the intent that you're going to have a side piece of that on the shorts, on the reels, on TikTok. So you have to have that in your script. You have to have that in your script.
Good advice. Now let's move to our 8th question. Our 8th question is, what is something most people don't know about executive production?
We get paid the least until the end. So a lot of people think I make a lot of money. I make 28% approximately of the production. So if a production makes $100,000, I make $28,000 of that. And it sounds like a lot, but I usually don't get the first dollar for about 3 years. I pay my cast on wrap. Typically, you get the money right away. I pay my crew typically within 30 days, sometimes 2 weeks. Some crew want a little bit more money and are willing to wait, but I pay really fast. I pay Crafty on delivery of food. I pay the rental houses the day we pick up. I pay everybody. Every single person is making money. I don't see money for 3 years. I get a lot of money in 3 years, but I don't see the money in 3 years. So that's something a lot of people don't realize. They think, oh, he's a producer, he makes a lot of money. Well, the money I'm making today is stuff you got paid for in 2021.
Way back. Oh, yeah. Yep. I can believe that. It's like that. You put a little bit of money in, and then you hope. Well, not hope, because if you put the money in, it's because you have faith in the project and it's gonna do well. So
Exactly.
you just wait patiently and then make it rain. Make it rain. I know. Now, talking about that, I do have this other question. Tell us the best advice to generate revenue out of independent films.
So what I tell people is this: the first thing you want to do is, if you're going to release to YouTube, let's say, or you're going to release to Facebook, or you're going to release to, I don't know, wherever you're going to release to, you want to have in advance for a year. You want to have a calendar of when you're going to be promoting different links to that content. Don't just post a link to your movie. I don't care. Today, I'm going to post a link to the movie. 6 hours from that, I'm going to post a link to the interview between our lead characters. 6 hours later, I'm going to post a link to the movie. 6 hours later, I'm going to post to an interview on set when it was a cold, horrible snow day, when everyone was freezing. 6 hours after that, I'm going to post a link to the movie. And you have to have a plan for a year in advance. You need to have thousands of links being shared. Thousands. How many times do people post?
What's a good tip for that right now that you're mentioning it? I feel that every film crew should have this designated person to just record what's happening in the background, and just record. Hey, don't show me anything. Just record. And then at the end of everything, hey, I have all this footage of things that happened, things that we captured in fraganti. Somebody fell down. This dude made a joke. We have all that together. You have so much content to actually promote your film, because it's fun. One of the things that we love the most about the film industry, at least me as an actress, is the fun that nobody sees.
Correct.
Like when we're on set and really funny stuff happens, that those things stay with you. And you're like, oh my gosh, yeah, that was a complete experience. Yeah, it looks fun. Yeah, I saw the film. He's like, I'm not even talking about the film. I'm talking about the break room and all of the jokes and that comradeship. It's really cool.
Rose,
so I feel that that's a good tip for everyone out there.
Do you have your phone handy?
Yes, I do.
Do you have your calculator app?
Sure.
Okay, because I don't know how good you are at math. I'm very good at math. Let's say
I'm horrible at math. I ain't even gonna lie.
You guys who are watching, you can pull out your math. You can pull out your calculator. Okay, let's say you put in the number 2. Let's say you post 2 links a day for 45 days. So say you said number 2 and same times 45 equals, it's 90. All right, and let's say that your YouTube has 2,000 viewers and all that stuff, and maybe you make 80 cents. So now say times 0.8 equals, what's that, $72?
72.
Right. So that's unlikely that you made it. So that was only 2. You posted 2 times a day for 45 days. It didn't work. Let's clear it. Hit the clear button a bunch. Tap, 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 tap. Now let's put in the number 12. 1, 2 times 365 equals. And now I don't know what that is. It's going to be like 4,200 or something. 4,300 times $1.80. That's $7,000, $8,000. Now let's say that 12 people from your production decided they were going to post 12 times a day for a year. So times 12. And that's 85,000?
That's $94,000. Wow. But you just said it right now. It takes a village. It's a collaborative effort. And one of the things that we have in this film industry, it's a lot of competition, a lot of envy, a lot of greediness. What if we just work together and make it happen?
It's
really hard to find that kind of crowd. And when you find it, it's like the best thing that can ever happen to you.
There's no competition. People make a movie, they release it, they forget about it, they work on the next movie. There's no competition. If you want to make money, make a movie. Make a movie. Find people who are dedicated to a movie. Find people who want to be part of monetization. Split it up. Give 5% to each actor, for real. And then say, guys, if we want this to be profitable, I need each of you to share it 12 times a day for a year. And I'll send you automated emails or texts to remind you at 2 p.m., 4 p.m., 6 p.m., over and over and over. And if you're in a movie, I see Walt over there. Walt is really good about sharing it. And Walt, even you only share a movie you're in like 15, 18 times. And I write that down. I mean, every time I see one of you guys share one of your movies, I write it down. I put it in my spreadsheet. Walt Sloan shared in a movie one more time. And I only see it 2% of the time. You got to be sharing it all the time. If you post the same link 25 times in a day, only like 1/3 of your audience will even see one of them. They're not going to see you spamming it. That's not how the algorithm works. The algorithm doesn't show the same stuff over and over and over again. The algorithm wants you posting. They want you to be posting.
You know, there's a little letdown there, because you just said it. If you have a lot of friends that are in the film industry, they're less likely to watch what you're doing than someone that really sits down to binge watch. So talking about that, you know, because I heard this experience from a friend of mine. He's like, no, I have all these friends and ta-da-da-da, and everything's cool and everything's Gucci until I start sharing my projects and stuff like that. Now, when I say, hey, it's my birthday, I have 100 and something messages. And when I post my achievements, 5, 3, like not a lot of engagement. And I'm like, you know, I couldn't tell him what you just told me right now, because I didn't know that. Like, I knew, but I didn't know with that certainty. I can't just give advice just because it's what I think, unless I know. So, you know, now that I know this, I can tell these people, well, that's because most of your friend list, it's also filmmakers. It's not really that they don't want to see it, although maybe they don't want to see it, but at the same time, they're also working on their own things. So it's kind of like inconsiderate of you to make them stop their own process to come and support yours, when maybe in the past you didn't even know they were doing this and you did not support them. They're going to use that against, and there's the bickering. That's where it starts.
That's why you need to have people who are not film people. You need to have your mom, your sister, your wife's friends, your friends from college, your neighbors. You need to have those people clicking those links. And they don't see it if you only post it once. You need to post it thousands of times. You need to post it 6,000 times across a year, and you still won't reach 100% of your friends on Facebook, on social media. You have to sit down and do this. Make one film, make one bad film, make a terrible film, and share it 6,000 times in a year, and get back to me and tell me I'm wrong. I won't be wrong. You're going to see in a year that you actually had made money. Instead of making 15 bad films that you don't promote, make one terrible film that you do promote.
You know what? That's not just excellent advice. That's also very insightful, because most of us filmmakers make the film, maybe pay for marketing for 60 days, 80 days, or 90 days, and that's pretty much it. And then we don't continue to advertise it. And then we kind of like are boom, like, oh, I didn't make as much money as I thought I was going to make, or I didn't have as much viewership as I thought I was going to get. Like, there it is. It's a dedication thing. You got to sit down, you got to start sharing your project. And yeah, it may be a little boring because you yourself have seen your project so many times. It's already to you, but there's still people that have not seen it. So you got to take people in consideration. So thank you.
We're going to try something new this year on one of my projects that I'm making, a TV show. Is every episode we release, it's going to be released at a certain day at a certain time. And we're going to tell people, 7 p.m. Friday, the episode's coming out. And we're going to tell people that for every viewer that watches it, we're going to be giving away $1 up to 10,000. So tell your friends to watch it. And then at a certain time, we're not going to tell you when, The show is going to pause for 30 seconds, and we're going to say the code is this. And you go to our website, you type in the code, and one random person will be selected to win up to $10,000. And we're going to do that to make it viral on release, because when they're viral on release, it breaks the YouTube algorithm, and then they keep showing it over and over and over again. Of course, it's too late to enter if you're not there at the given moment, but we're going to try it out. We're going to try and see if we can incentivize people to not only watch it, but share it. Because if you watch it, you don't tell your friends, then there won't be enough viewers. The goal is to have more viewers watching it live. And if we can get to 10,000 or more viewers, that's 10 grand someone's going to win today. So I'm going to try and see.
Yeah, I got Samuel Malave here saying, Adam gets you so busy, you have no time to talk to anyone if you're dedicated. That's good. That's why you go to the FilmDiner for. That's why, hey, if you gonna pay him, he's gonna make you put that money to work. Hey, yeah, you paid me, but be your worth. Like, do what you're worth. You know, you paid this for me for just for you to have these resources. Use them to the best of your ability. Squeeze the best out of it. So yeah, thank you for that. You're not just dedicated to the film industry when it comes to the independent filmmakers, but at the same time, you've been inspiration. Because I'm not sure if people know here, but I had this podcast that I was starting that is going to come back soon, but it's going to be live. It's not going to be no more editing or anything like that. That was Mindful Men Communicate. And I had Adam in that podcast a few times. And the advice for men to be dedicated, to be focused, to just go ahead and grind. And if it sucks to you, then don't do it. Do something you really want to feel like, hey, this doesn't feel like work. And you can do it all day, every day for 24 hours a day. And it's gonna be amazing. And the fruition, you're gonna see it right away. Yeah, it may be a little slow, but hey, if you can see it grow, that means it's going to keep growing and it's going to pick up that speed. So thank you so much for all those advice that you left behind for a lot of people to watch. That being said, I have someone here that said something about you. I think, AD said, replying to AD, he said, I love it. I love to bring people with me on the journey. They feel invested. They want to win. You win, they win. And I love it because that's the vibe I get from you. So that is amazing. That being said, I have this question over here, and I want you to add a little bit of AI in that. Question number, is it number 10? Yeah, number 10. And no, maybe the next one for the AI. What is something that makes you passionate about this entertainment industry?
Well, I think what I'm most passionate about today is I believe in an unrestricted creation, unregulated creation. And for most of my life, Hollywood restricted and regulated who could create. Today, you have everything. You have YouTube for general video content. You have Rumble for like conservative right-wing content. You have OnlyFans for adult content. You have a million different channels where you can reach out and produce on. You have Roku, you have Tubi. So what I'm really passionate about is now that anyone can make content, it gives a wider breadth of opinions and beliefs and cultures and audiences. That's what I'm the most passionate about. More people can create than ever before.
Yeah, that's something that a lot of people, I don't know if they can see it, but after that 2020, because that 2020 was a wake-up call for a lot of people. So after that 2020, there has been some independent filmmakers that have come out with this extraordinary ideas. Like, yo, get your team. Listen to this advice Adam is giving. Get your team and start working on it. There's so many other videos I've seen of people saying, hey, you want to be a filmmaker? Start. You don't have a camera, you only have your phone? Start. There's no excuse. And this time in history, there is no excuse to not start. So thank you for that. I'm really honored that not just that you're here, but that you're expressing your passions and these advices that are really good for all filmmakers that are tuning in and will tune in the future. So let's go ahead with our 11th question. What is the marketing strategy to ensure a successful release and maximize profits? We did talk about getting that audience, like, hey, if you do horror, you want to find people that love horror and stuff like that. What are other ways, other strategies to ensure
marketing
that?
strategy happens before the film is even written.
So in the planning process.
Yeah, if you've already written the film, it's too late to market. You already screwed up, because I don't want to share too much. That's trade secret. But for example, when I invest in small films, and when I say small, I mean like $100,000, $150,000 budgets, I invest in them because they already have a plan for selling it to China. They already have a plan for selling it to India. They already have a plan for selling it to Poland and Russia and Israel and Egypt and Morocco. They already have a plan. 40% of your money is going to come from international. You don't even have to worry about it. You sell it. It's already sold. Now you've gotten almost half your money back. If you don't have international already planned, then you're not going to sell it. If you make a script that's going to offend someone internationally, then you need to make a second modification in the pre-planning stage. We're going to have this scene here where two guys kiss, and we're going to replace it with this scene here where a man kisses his girlfriend. And we're going to send that one to China and India and Egypt.
Yeah, that's true. That filtering, that's true, because not every country is like America. That's true. If you really want to expand, you want to make your research and make your homework. Know what is popular over there, what is not acceptable over there, and be careful with that, because it can back up real quick. I've seen it happening.
The kids' cartoons that I invest in, we sell 75% internationally, 80% internationally. So it's not even in English. Like, we don't even care about America. We make it in English, but it's cartoons. So it's overdubbed by the distributors internationally. And we make it as wholesome, neutral for Muslim, Hindu, Christian, Catholic, Jewish, atheist, tribal. We make it as neutral as possible. And we know we're going to get 80% of our money back internationally. And the other 20% we're going to make on YouTube or whatever. And the money comes back fast. We release an episode, and in 30 days it's profitable, maybe less than 30 days, maybe 25 days it's profitable, because we did the marketing planning. We did the marketing planning before we wrote the episode, and we discussed it. How is this going to be accepted in Australia? How is this going to be accepted in Dubai? How is this going to be accepted in Kenya? And then we wrote it with that intent. So if you want to market it well, you have to have an international goal. You have to have an international goal. If you don't,
talking about that, sorry to cut you off. I've received plenty messages from Africa civilians that are filmmakers, and they trying to, they ask me for advice when it comes to using my platform to showcase and stuff like that. What are things that you would, based on what you've seen of their art, what is something that you can tell that crowd over there when it comes to making films and expanding it in the Americas?
The Africa film industry will be bigger than Bollywood in India in the next 5 years. And it will probably be the third biggest film sector in the next 10 years, because the African economies are growing and they have nothing that's their own. So I am actually going to be heavily invested in Nigeria and in Tanzania in the next year or two, because it's going to be a massive market. But what they need to do is they have to stop being James Bond, Jason Bourne.
Stop trying to be here. Do your thing, because we're over here in first new ideas.
Stories, and if you don't make them, then I'm going to come and make them, and that would be uncool. So you have awesome stories. You just need to get your quality to hit hard, and you have a huge audience who's starting to make money. People who a generation ago didn't have generational wealth, and now they have some wealth, slowly but surely. So there's a fairness that's coming. The tech industry is booming in Africa. The customer service industry is booming in Africa. The AI industry is booming in Africa. Money's coming to Africa. Make content for the consumers to pay for.
Yep. Now, that being said, I want to go to my last question, and then I want to ask you a AI question, because I know that you're very active with AI, and that's very important because that's the future. So let's get into that. Now, our last question, question 12, is: can you give us two examples of how potential risks and challenges will be mitigated throughout the throughout the production process?
So one way I mitigate uh, risks and challenges today is on future projects, I make everyone a producer. I'm over it now. I don't need the sole credit of being the producer. I want everyone to be a small investor. They can still get paid as employees, but if they're producers, they're not going to sue themselves. So that's important. If people aren't committed and they don't want to be producers, then I don't want them involved anymore. I'm kind of over it. I'm over salaried employees. I don't want to just give you a check anymore. Just get out. Here's a smaller check, and here's a piece of the action because you're a producer now. Now you're invested in the outcome of the product. And hopefully that'll mean I'll make more money because we'll all make more money. So that's one way to mitigate risk, is to consider who the liable parties are and try and get rid of some of them, make more of them. Another way to reduce and minimize risk, I think, is to know your cast and crew well. If they're activists, if they're rabble rousers, if they're the kind of people who want to sue big corporations for everything, don't hire them. Just don't. Just push them out. You don't need them. You don't need those people. You don't need anti-capitalists. You don't need anti-corporatists. You're a corporation when you make a movie. The day that you make a film, you're a corporation. Maybe you're a sole proprietorship, but you're still a business in the eyes of the court system.
That's true.
Act like a business. Push the people out who want to get in the way of profit and progress, financial progress for you and other people involved in the film. Just get rid of them. Just knock them as far out as possible.
No, that's true, because I saw this video a few months ago. It was about this lady that was explaining why, and not to attack that community at all, the LGBTQ, the T part, the lady was speaking and she was saying, let me tell you one of the things why I don't hire y'all. And she explained, first, I know that if somebody calls you the wrong name, you're going to come and sue us. I don't need that in my company. As soon as I see that your pronouns are different, I'm not hiring you. I don't need that headache. I don't need my employees to walk on eggshells around you and create a hostile environment in my place. And at the end of the day, that is something that should be expanded throughout settings, because it's true. Listen, if you're it's already in there. They have prejudice with felonies. If you go and get a job, you say felonies. Ooh. So there's a 60% probability that this person may steal something from my job. So although it's prejudice and it's not necessarily good, you got to understand that they got to cover for themselves, because you won't cover for them.
Yeah, I research everyone. I look at everyone's litigation history. I mean, I pay like $800 a year for unlimited searches on people's names for who they sued, or why they were sued, or why they were arrested and stuff like that. I actually don't care particularly about culture as much as I care about litigation. And I mean, I was sued 3 times last year. I think I was sued 3 times last year, and I won all 3 of them. And the lawsuits basically bankrupted the people who sued me, which I didn't want to see. I didn't want to see them lose everything over something, But in all 3 cases, the courts were basically like, "This is a waste of time. You're going after this guy because you think he has money," and it didn't work out for them, and it hurt them financially. It wasted a lot of time, and those 3 people are never going to work in the industry again, not because of me, but because now they have litigation associated with their name. If you're going to bring a lawsuit against a film, don't bring it against a guy who's only worth a couple of $1 million. Bring it against someone who's worth $180 million.
Right? Don't go for the little guys. That's mean. Now, that being said, before we go to that AI question, is it FilmDiner.com?
It is. FilmDiner.com is the place to start, but it's a terrible website. We are not a web developer. We are filmmakers. We don't make websites. Our website is terrible. It's not intended to be a sales tool.
Actually, to be honest, it's for people that just want to get to the point. It's pretty simple. It's just there. It's the words are there. The information is there. If you're really trying to join, there it is. All the information is there. It's plain and simple for you to read. If you don't, then maybe you got to stop being in TikTok for too long, because that attention span is getting to you. Now, talking about that, because I know AI is the future. And there's a lot of discrepancies around. People are like, well, people are going to start using AI to write this, to do that. And I'll be honest with you, there is no way that AI can make a unique, authentic story. It can give you some insights for something that you can take like little bits of it and evolve into something unique of your own. But let's be clear, AI is a collective data of historical and technological, historical data from people that have been in the computer since the very beginning of the internet, and from people that just come in and start putting stuff. And right now we have this technology that actually listens to what you're saying. And if you're talking about a couch with your friends, and then you go to Facebook and, oh, look, I have a couch here on sale, and they were listening and stuff like that. So obviously that has some AI in it. Yeah. But what is something that we can use AI as a tool without having to replace the authenticity of the filmmakers?
Well, and this is a 5-hour discussion. I've been in AI as an investor since 2017. I've been sharing AI warnings on my Facebook page since 2020. I was telling people every day, and they were laughing at me. Literally, they were laughing at me. And now it's good times, because many of them are losing their jobs to it because they didn't listen. And I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that, because the people who are blocking AI are the people who blocked you from joining their crew. They're the very people who didn't want to let you in because they had a little secret society that didn't want you to be part of it. So we're replacing those people, and it's a good thing. But as creators ourselves, we are afraid. One of the AI tools that I'm working on for the last 3 years, I've talked about it. The AI tool uses your webcam and watches for emotion. And if your emotions aren't charged, then it will change the content in real time and make content that will make you feel an emotion. Because that's what we sell, love and lives. So we make emotions in our audience, and AI is going to be tuned to that. And if then AI will change the story in real time. So we have to be aware of these. The problem with AI is a problem with all sorts of AI that as what audiences have always been used to. But there's something fabulous that has happened. And I'm real excited about this. And this is why I'm not afraid of AI. I'm no longer going to create content that's strictly on the screen. If you're a musician or a comedian and you only produce content for the screen, your game is over. If you only make music for Spotify, you're done. Out. Go live in your car. If you want to make money, you have to meet audiences face to face. You have to.
Look at it.
You have to go on tour. You have to. Hey, thanks, Matt.
I know to the FilmDiner, so that's great.
You down tomorrow, Matt. If you are in a band, you have to go on tour. If you're a comedian, you have to go on tour. Face to face, you have to do it. You have to do it, because AI is going to make comedy that's funnier than you. AI is going to make rock music and rap music. Already, there's demos on my wall of rap music.
You know what's funny? Bad Bunny was super popular, super this, super that. He got with that family, and kind of his popularity went down. But then someone in Puerto Rico made an AI song with his voice. Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you something. That song was fire, and he was pissed. Yeah, so pissed that he went into WhatsApp in the chat of everybody.
He's going to be over.
No, I don't like y'all. I hate y'all. I don't want y'all in my concert.
He's going to be over. So that's what I'm gonna do for the film industry. On the TV series I'm working on, one of the commitments from the actors is once they make enough money from the films, from the TV shows, once they make enough money, they're gonna be committed to coming to the fan conventions, selling their t-shirts, selling their stickers, signing their autographs. Because going to where the fans can meet you is something that AI will never be able to do. And we're gonna separate ourselves from AI by creating content that not only appeals to a small audience, but an audience big enough to pay for that content, but an audience that will want to meet you and ask you questions. And the people that watch the stuff I make are the people who dream about making that stuff. So when they know they can meet me at the convention, they can meet the lead actors, they can meet the crew, talk to them for a few minutes, get an autograph from them, we're going to monetize human nature. We're going to monetize the nature of human. The AI can't do that. AI will make better movies than we will in the next 2 years. AI will make better TV shows. It will make better music videos.
What I saw with AI, somebody was making a film, right? And they needed an extra 5 seconds of this particular scene.
Oh, yeah.
They just put AI and AI generated that same scene.
Yeah, 5 seconds long.
Extra.
It's already that's an Adobe. That's an Adobe Premiere right now. It's an Adobe Premiere right now. Right now, it's there. It's already there. I mean,
that's amazing.
We've known about it for 5 years. We've been already working with that stuff for years, but people didn't listen. They didn't listen. They didn't listen. You know, they didn't listen. And I something I always ask my audiences is how many screenwriters of your favorite movies have you met? 0. Why? Because they knew they didn't have to meet you. Now, if you want to make money as a human in Hollywood, in film, you're going to have to be available to your audience. You're going to
you do see it as a possibility that people will really, really start selling their image and likeness?
It's done. The top 2% of SAG-AFTRA already has licenses with OpenAI. Already.
But let me tell you something. That's effed up. That's effed up because
they don't care about you.
It's little royalties, and they're pumping most of the money out of your image and likeness.
The idea of a celebrity is not going to exist in 20 years. There's going to be no celebrity.
Oh, I agree with that. Completely. Especially after all this thing is happening and everybody's realizing that most of everything that they knew, it's all a facade.
I mean, you know, think about this. Like Jay-Z is worth over $1 billion, and that's 1,000 millionaires, and that's 10,000 people who would make $100,000. So we could replace him with 10,000 people who made $100,000. I would rather have 10,000 people make $100,000 than one guy make $1 billion, and that's what's happening. It's a democratization of creation. AI is going to replace Hollywood. AI is going to replace the news. AI is going to replace all big media because it's really good. It's really good, but it's not going to replace acting and directing and filmmaking. We just will have to accept that we can't make millions anymore. I'm okay with that. I don't need to make millions. It's stupid that I make millions. There should be no reason an untalented guy like me should make as much money as I do. With AI, I'm going to help you make money that replaces that job you don't like.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Now, that being said, we have culminated this interview, but don't go anywhere because I'm still not done with you. Now, we do have what we call here this artistic advice. I know you gave us a lot of advice, but when it comes to in general, what is something that you would like to tell to every artist out there?
Well, I think the most important thing, if you're an artist that wants to speak to an audience, I think that you need to numb yourself from your muses. Whatever instigated you to becoming an artist, I think you need to wean yourself off of the addiction. So if you are an actor, you really need to back away from your favorite movies and your favorite characters. You really need to refine your ability to act and play a character. If you're a musician, if you're a famous musician, if you're like a Taylor Swift or whatever, and you go into the studio, the producer sits in there and teaches her to pronounce words in songs that an average person singing wouldn't pronounce it that way, because it's giving her character. It's giving her character. They wanted her when she was young. They wanted her to breathe when she sang. They kind of pushed it on her. It was part of her shtick. In the beginning, you can hear her breathing. That's not something that the average person singing along on the radio would do. Who's that? Billie Eilish. Billie Eilish was created by Gucci before you had ever heard of her.
Really?
Yes, I think it was Gucci. They found her and they said, "Wow, her and her brother's really talented and she can sing. So we're going to want to sell clothes through her in 10 years." So what they did is they wrapped it up and they beat her up emotionally. You can read about this. She'll admit it. They beat her up emotionally. They said, "Make that first album in your bedroom. We need you to make this album in your bedroom." And they bothered her every day. "Where are the songs written in your bedroom? What is happening?" And she hated it. And then they said, "Now that you're famous, we're going to dress you in our clothes and we're going to wear these stupid colors and these big boots and these ugly gender neutral hoodies. And you're going to wear our clothes and you're going to go to our events and you're going to push this on the audience." And I mean, read her Wikipedia page. Open up her Wikipedia page and read her history.
Here I was thinking that was her own personal choice to dress like that. I was like, she's setting a new, like a different way of style. I like, but I didn't like the colors, but I like the style because I normally
go read her Wikipedia after this. Read it and read the history. The clothing companies hit her up first. They bothered her. She hated recording that album. They harassed her to record it in her bedroom with her brother to make her seem like she was this underground nobody. And in reality, she was another rich California girl. And you got suckered. And you got suckered. And you got suckered because that's what they do. I don't wear Gucci or Louis Vuitton, that's for sure.
I think
if they paid me. I only wear stuff.
I just think like it's art for poor people. It's to impress poor people. Yeah, right, exactly. I'd rather just wear my friends' brands, rock it. Like right now, for example, I was like, I gotta represent in every of my interviews. I have something from Pressplay, so I got myself a hoodie. And every time I go to somewhere completely irrelevant, I just walk around. I literally catch people trying to take a picture of the QR code. Okay, Ruben, you got it, Ruben. No, for real. I think what we do as artists, it's amazing, and especially when we encounter people like you that really care about the dream of bringing these visions to light.
I disagree with that. I don't care about the dream. I care about making people become financially stable and doing the thing they love.
I mean,
yeah.
Be honest, that's the dream. The dream is trying to make it. It's making a living out of our art. So yeah, like that's it. That's what it is. That's what it is. Now that being said, we have free speech in America, but here we have free art speech. So this is your moment, Adam. The panel is yours. Whatever you want to tell the people, how to find you, how to go to the FilmDiner, where it's located, or anything else you'd like to share with us, go ahead.
If you meet me, I have a very simple policy. If you want to meet me, you need to get 10 other people together to want to meet me, committed. And if I can, I will fly in and meet you. Some of you on chat right now have tried to do this and you have failed because the people you think are your friends don't care. They don't care. So if you have 500 friends and 10 of them don't want to come and chat about this kind of stuff, 500 friends and start over, because you have 500 people making you down. They're just holding you down. If you want to be a part of the future, you have to grasp and utilize all of this every day. AI every day. Posting your films every day. Don't post about Billie Eilish or Bad Baby or any of that stuff. Don't be posting about anything. Don't post pictures of your food. I do because I don't really care. I got nothing to promote. I can't tell you what I'm invested in.
That's the thing, Adam. I'm trying to be like you. I don't give a hell.
If I tell you what I'm invested in, then you will invest in it and they will want my money. So I have to be really private about where my money comes from. I can't tell you what AI I own. I can't tell you because I don't want you to invest in it. It's not that I don't like you. We're competitors in that regard. But if we're going to make movies together, let me tell you something. When I give you money and we make a movie and then you stop promoting the movie, I'm probably not going to give you money again if you're not promoting the movie a year later.
Right. I mean, hey, it's like this. I have a friend of mine that was in the very beginning with me on Pressplay, and he's still, but he had his other projects and stuff like that. And I let it go. I was like, he's a busy man. He's doing his thing. And I am a person that really likes to encourage and support other people's career. So when I saw that he was with me, but at the same time he was doing his own thing, I was like, listen, do what you gotta do, bro. Do what you gotta do. But remember, I'm here. And he never forgot. And now he's like full motion with me. And hey, Rose, what we gotta do? What with this, with that, and ta da da da. And he's like, thank you. But I had that faith because I knew that I knew the kind of person he was. Like, busy. Life is busy. I can judge him for not having the time right now. If he really is a genuine person, he will come back. He will come back and he'll come and be like, hey, what's next? What are we doing? And he did. And I was like, I'm really fortunate to have friends like that. So thank you for those gems that you just dropped with us. That was pretty amazing. And, I'm just really glad it didn't go sidetrack because I know you. Although that would have probably got us a little more views.
We should probably do one of these specifically about AI in a couple of months.
Yeah, I was thinking about, because you know a lot about it, and I have a lot of friends that have a lot of questions that I can really answer, because I'm studying AI, but it's more like if you put the computer in front of me, I can do it. But if you ask me, I can formulate it in words because it's so much information. So much information.
Overload.
Yeah, and I just started. You've been doing this for a long time. You already had the knowledge for a long time, so it's easier for you to formulate all that information together.
I got into film in 2017 because I got into AI in 2017. That's why I got into film. And people were like, you're never going to beat Netflix. And now I look at my bank accounts are growing and Netflix's bank accounts are shrinking.
Yeah, so. You saw iRobot and said, okay, I'm trying to get into this robots before they start getting over me.
So let's do it again. Let's plan it again in a couple of months.
Let's do that. And now that being said, I know I want to show the audience a little bit of your work, what it's possible to be done in the FilmDiner and all of that good stuff. I know you shared a short film with us. Can you tell us a little bit about that short film before I play it?
It's never been released to a wide audience, so you guys would be the first on this podcast. It was for the Chicago 48-hour film project. We won some awards for it. We filmed it, wrote it, edited it, submitted it in 48 hours. It was done with almost all FilmDiner members at FilmDiner with FilmDiner gear and at the FilmDiner studio. So you can just see a little piece. Now remember, 40-hour film projects are not ones that we've spent months or years in pre-production on. So there are some rough spots around it, but we had a really, really, really good time. And it's a lot of fun to watch what you can do with other people who are dedicated collaborators.
Well, that being said, guys, I'm about to play that short film. But right now, first, Adam, go ahead and say goodbye to your audience. Everybody.
I hope I see you guys again soon. And if you want to see me at FilmDiner, just get 10 other people and I'll be there sometime.
There you go, guys. That is Adam Brian Dada for you. And I hope you go to filmdiner.com and get Unknown with all of the information right there so that you can get those 10 people and go ahead and reach out to Brian. So that being said, thank you so much, Adam, for coming, and God bless.
Thank you.
Be safe. Guys, thank you for tuning in to another movie talk with Pressplay Cinema. That was Adam Brian Dada for you guys, a former executive producer and full-blown FilmDiner director. So guys, go ahead and check out that at filmdiner.com. And that being said, let's go ahead and watch that film. Ooh, I'm excited. We're the first ones to see it. Let's get this done.
Go.
You'll never get away with this, supervillain Steve DiMaggio!
You're mistaken. I'm a linguist. It's not just about you. I've studied languages my whole entire life, and they all disgust me. There's only one true form of communication, and that's singing. The world will sing.
Sing.
Sing. Sing.
You'll never get away with this! My super ninjas will stop you!
The only way is singing.
If you fail to sing, you will face dire consequences for your actions. Get him out of here! I don't want to hear any of that non-lyrical communication from him again.
Better not be sneaking any flowers either.
Sing it up! Sing! When the alarm goes off, you must sing! Or it's good for us all!
The musical begins now.
If you fail to sing, you will face dire consequences for your actions. It's not about you. We are ninjas, stuck in a zoo. You need to get out. There's no love and there's no flowers. You need to fight and sing in about an hour. The enemy's fierce and they are strong. They have moves and they have sounds. It's not about you. We are ninjas stuck in a zoo. We need to get out.
Here's your food. What are you pansies in here singing about?
Singing, and don't you know? Didn't they tell you it's a means of communication?
What?
We can fight. We can sing. Beat it steep, just believe we'll defeat enemies that he brings. Every slash, every spin. We fight back with a rhythm and kick 'em again, and we win. We can fight. We can sing. We can fight. We can sing. We can fight. We can sing. can sing. We can fight. We 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 can fight. We can fight. We can fight. We can sing. We can sing. We can sing. We can sing. We can fight. We can fight. We can fight. We can fight. We can sing. We can sing. We can sing. We can sing. We can fight. We can fight. We can fight. We can fight. We can sing. We can sing. We can sing. We can sing. We can fight. We can fight. We can fight. We can fight. We can sing. We can sing. We can sing. We can sing. We can fight. We can fight. We can fight. We can fight. We can sing. We can sing. We can sing. We can sing. We can fight. We can fight. We can fight. We can fight. We can sing. We can sing. We can sing. We can sing.
Guys, that was, let me stop the video here. Okay, there you go. Guys, that was amazing. Exclusively made at the FilmDiner. I'm pretty sure the musicals were crazy over there. So, you know, he went and said, okay, that's my audience. Musicals. Now, that being said, guys, I saw Ahmed. I saw Samuel. I saw Delilah. Guys, you're amazing. And I love to see you guys in film. Like, as soon as I see you guys, I'm like, I know that person. I know that person. Like a little girl, like if I'm not in the same thing with y'all. So this is something that I love to do. I like to support you guys. I see you guys over there and I'm like, that person, you know that person, get to know them, go ahead and befriend them. So that being said, guys, I hope that you tune in for the next episodes. Let me say something really quick. I am planning to do 20 episodes of this first season. Then I'm going to take a little break to focus in other things. And I will come back with season 2, 20 more episodes. So do not miss any of the episodes. And if you do, don't worry. In YouTube, there is all of the interviews in order for you to watch with amazing gems for all of you. We have directors from Mexico, from California. We have executive producers. We have music composers, any entity of the film industry, we have them out here dropping all those gems for y'all. So please, that being said, we do have a film festival coming soon. Our first in person. We've been doing this for like 3 years online, but this 4th year, we're going to do it in person right here in Michigan in the area of Lansing at Celebration Cinema, Lansing. Guys, there is no losers. Just like Adam said over here, if you really want to win, you really want to see your people win, and you got to support, and you got to see that support back, because that's just what it is. And when it comes to this film festival, there is no losers. We have 3 categories. Film distribution. Films that are selected for film distribution will be approached by one of our team members to be able to keep discussing further the process of film distribution for their film. Public showcase. Films that are selected for public showcase will be showcased at pressplayhere.com. And we have the other one, which is, what was it? Screening. So yeah, in the film festival, there's going to be a screening of 3 films. The 3 selected films will be presented with awards, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place. And those films have to be 17 to 25 minutes long. And now, that being said, I wish you guys the best when it comes to your artistic career. Start. Do not wait for people to be like, you're ready now. Oh, you have enough money now. No, you got a phone. Start. Get to the work. Focus, dedication. We already saw that here with Adam. That I'm gonna be honest with you, I've heard it many times, but Adam right here broke it down for y'all. There is no excuse, really no excuse. So guys, that's all for today, and I'll see you Friday. In Spanish, we have David Teles, which is a photographer, and he's gonna talk to us a little bit about the making of portfolios, the modeling, photography, and all of that beautiful stuff. So I'll see you guys back in Friday, and next week I'll see you probably, I don't know, I'll just share with you later. Be safe, guys. Thank you, and dare to inspire.